Hello, it's been a while since I've done a LEGO review. First of all, sorry that this is such an ugly setup. This is one of the largest sets I've ever covered, both in terms of piece count, but also in terms of size. This thing is pretty huge. I don't know exactly how many pieces it has. Actually, let me find out right now. 469. So actually not that many for modern LEGO standards, but in terms of volume, it is huge. This set came out in 2008. It is called Coast Guard Platform. It was available in 2008, but only for, as I just said, but only for 6 months. So it was a limited time sort of deal, a store exclusive, not sure to which store, but that's besides the point. This is a Coast Guard set, which is one of the many LEGO City sub-themes, but one that's not loved as much. And this specific idea of a Coast Guard base is, you know, it's kind of more unique. There hasn't exactly been a million of those like there have been police stations. And even then, this has a lot of its own unique character, you know? I like that old LEGO City tended to sort of make these very consistent factions that would evolve very slowly in the first few years. So you get a lot of the same color scheme, a lot of the same vehicle, a lot of the same identity. But I think there was only 1 year of Coast Guard, maybe 2. But I'm not a huge LEGO City expert. But another thing I find interesting about this is that it's early enough in LEGO City's run, 2008, this line launched in 2005, that it has a lot of that classic LEGO charm still intact. A lot of jank, I guess you can say. So let's take a look at it. First, let's start with the overall picture. As I said, this thing is very large. It is suspended off the ground using these big ol' pillar pieces, which is nice. It's decently secure. I mean, of course, that plane that's barely attached, you know, that thing is supposed to leave. But yeah, pretty well built, all things considered. These sort of pillars do sometimes tend to be a little bit weak, but it works. And as you can see, it makes a pretty good use of the Technic bushings inside of these pieces, these orange, giant, lattice-like pieces. These are probably the best thing about the set. Sorry, things keep falling off because stuff isn't always attached, but you've probably never seen these pieces before unless you're a big LEGO City nut, because I think they are only in one other set, which is actually a bridge transport set. And that's why they're shaped the way they are. They're these giant Technic wireframes. They kind of have like the feel of like a lower quality Bionicle piece is what I'd say. I'm not exactly sure if they're ABS, but they're very large. And as you can kind of see, they have a very distinct shape. Very weird. And the fact that they're able to make this, basically base this entire thing off that piece, is pretty remarkable. Not that it's not exactly like an extremely unique look, but it's the kind of thing they really only could have done during this one time, this one moment, you know, where this piece existed. This might have even been a recolor, because I don't really think the original is orange, but don't quote me on that. Just a very weird thing. And giant oversized pieces like this that were exclusive to City, it wasn't the only one. There's also the gigantic dump truck that had a giant dumper piece that I don't think was ever seen again. Just like a few oddities before they kind of worked out the quirks and kind of sort of made everything a lot more standardized. Let's take a look at the base itself, starting with the bottom lower. I'd say it's a base like it's space. Yeah, there's not much going on here, but you're not really expecting that much, because you get in the world of play, this could really just be underwater. That being said, we've got a buoy right here that's kind of hanging off of it. It kind of dangles all around. It's a little annoying, but you know, it makes sense to have a buoy. Reminds you that this is ocean related. Got a little life preserver right there. They're supposed to be all around. Some of them are missing. They've fallen off. This set was used and I had to part together a few pieces like this little plane. Yeah, this was heavily parted together. Most of the pieces are supposed to be orange, all the gray ones, and this is not supposed to be printed, but it is for the play scenario of, you know, they're supposed to rescue somebody with this wonderful classic hospital bed piece, which still has little room for wheels, I believe, which, you know, it's kind of a defect, not a defect, but a holdover from when the hinge joints used to be used for the wheels there. It fits very nicely on this H pad, as you can see. Kind of have to do it this way only, and it's cool. It kind of adds to the look. It really completes things, because without that, it does feel a little bit empty, because it kind of has the problem of like you know, those gigantic molded base plates where, you know, it's a lot of volume, but then you look at the actual structures and it's very, very small things. Like that's a structure. This fills it out a little bit, this little thing. You know, of course there's the beams, but besides that, it's kind of light on detail. And you know, it's Lego City, and there are some details that are missing that have fallen off or other things, but yeah, it's that. You have this cool lift function using these Technic bushings to keep it in place. Very nice, it works well enough. It's kind of interesting how you can really, how much it resists coming down. Look at that. It has a little lift sticker. This is before stickers kind of got upgraded. This is the classic SpongeBob 2006 crappy sticker, and a lot of them are not doing too good, but luckily most of mine are still intact for this set, including especially this one. Wow, look at that. Really had some wear and tear to it. Maybe you could say you like that, 'cause it's like, oh, looks very lived in, but it looks kind of not my favorite, you know. Stickers back then were very bad, and it makes all these sets age pretty poorly, unfortunately, when otherwise the designs themselves are solid enough. Here on the top, I guess we're moving up here, is this crane. It's a very weird Technic mechanism up there that sort of makes it go. It's controllable through this little gear. Kind of hard to get your fingers on, but yeah, you can. A little bit of manual involvement. It's a bit too cramped a space to really use this. I guess if I was a baby, it'd be good, but yeah, it's a little bit cramped in there. I do like these orange Technic pieces. I don't recognize those being in any sets, but then again, I was not into Technic during this era, let alone in general too much. Yeah, a little space for a fellow to hang out there. Oh, it can go this way. It has this weird stopper that kind of keeps it in place, so you can put it down all the way. That's kind of what controls it, which is, you know, it works, but it's kind of funny to see such a silly, kind of like a Band-Aid solution, because this thing has no friction, no sense of, just flops around. 32T4210. If I stand uncorrected, I think that is the set number, which is, yeah, you actually have to tie this. Yeah, Lego sets back then, sometimes they do to tie things, which was not the best design choice. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this play function. You know, it adds to the set, it's cool. But now that I've got this guy, I think I'm gonna take a quick look at the minifigures. I know things keep going wrong this time, but it's whatever. Mistakes happen. I feel. So this is the Lego Coast Guard design of the time. It's pretty generic. You've got, if you think about it, the only thing that's really even slightly specialized about this is the air tank and the print right there, which, to be fair, is kind of cool, kind of amassable. No back printing. Plain yellow torso, which is not plain, but a yellow torso, which is something Lego seems to be, you know, they're moving away from at this time. So yeah, it's an okay design, I guess. It fits in with like the generic police designs, the generic firefighter designs, kind of like, you know, boilerplate standard. But I do like the different, you know, you get this nice little oxygen tank, which is a fun piece, you know. I don't know if it's as good as the old air tubes or whatever, or if that's a holdover from divers, but it's okay. This sort of goggles piece, I think this was new at the time, but I couldn't 100% be sure. Again, it could have been from Aqua Raiders or something, which this theme was after, so, you know, that could be that. We have two other figures that are basically about the same. This one does have one of my favorite face prints of this time, with the orange beard. This one's a fun one, you know. I feel like Lego face prints around this time, maybe not necessarily, maybe they've kind of gotten over at this point, but a lot of the generic ones were so ugly. Oh my god. There was this eyebrow design, this orange eyebrow design that was just so ugly, and it was everywhere. This guy's got like the Jang face. Sorry about my subpar photography. Again, it's kind of pushing the limits of my set with this. And yeah, we got those guys, and they're nothing to write home about. But this guy, I like this guy. He's the fisherman you have to save. And he's actually unique in a lot of ways. First, he has the life preserver, which is fun. I do like how this does fit around the neck very well. Kind of adds a different feel. I like the stud connection there. You could really build something special or fun with that. But I really love this like very simple sweater print he's got going on. It has like this slightly thicker line weight than the other stuff, which I think makes it look very fun and kind of inviting. I really like it. I kind of wish it was just the sweater, but you know, you get the overalls. And this face was actually a holdover from, I believe, 2003. There's an old gray and a new gray variant of the printing. Um, and I just think it's cool because it's a really cool classic older face print, and you know, in a set this late, which is interesting. Unfortunately, he has brown legs, and you know, brittle brown. The brown pieces of this era did tend to break, so gotta be careful with him. But yeah, he's my favorite figure, and he's just a fisherman, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, let's take a look at the rest of it now that we've gone through the minifigures. Here we have a little station for supplies, and this is where you can put the additional helmets and such. And this is the other, this is the main building section, Coast Guard. You've got a older door right there. I kind of like this design. It's just so classic. I don't know, there's something about it. It just doesn't feel modern. I don't know, there's something, it's a strange door design, but I do love it. I think it's similar to the one featured in the Chum Bucket, where it's just like, has a certain texture, or like, you know, it kind of breaks the system a little bit, but in like a fun way that makes it stand out. On the top here, we have some blue flex tube, which I think is another one of my favorite parts of this set. The shape of this is very nice. You know, it's rounded, but it's not like super, you know, lame. I don't know how to explain it. And any flex tube is always an interesting addition to any set. Little little goggles to peek out. 4210, the set number. And if we go to the top, I'm actually going to move this up. You can kind of see that there's a little sticker on there, and there's supposed to be a siren right there, but I do not have it at the moment. If we swivel it around, you see there's you know, a room for a computer desk and a chair, and there's supposed to be a chair there. Sorry about that. And if we go down a little bit, there's a computer and a watchtower. Yeah, just kind of standard stuff. Lego, you know, they didn't always have the best interiors, and City kind of carried that. And this is not a huge divergence away from that. The last thing to look at is this helicopter, which which is shamefully different than the way it should look. As I said before, it does hold the, you know, the hospital bed style thing. Take that off. It's pretty generic, you know. Has the plagued slow piece right there, which really adds a lot of volume, but it kind of makes it look kind of clunky. Because if you think about it, without that piece, this is very skeletal. There's a lot going on. A little bit of texture there, though, interesting enough with this piece. Yeah, it should be orange, though. The color, the orange color would make this pop a little bit better. It fits better with the set as a whole, because, you know, dark gray, green, blue, light gray just doesn't fit there. It's all right. It's nothing to write home about, but that's just the last inclusion. In conclusion of the set itself, it's nothing crazy in a vacuum, you know. In a vacuum, it's nothing crazy. This is a very serviceable playset from the time. Doesn't do anything too spectacular, except actually, oh my god, I forgot one feature. Here, it's not a crazy feature, but you can move this on a rail, and it's just stuck in there with these two Technic pieces. That's it. It just goes back and forth. It's cute, adds a little bit of playability. Nothing too crazy, very easy to build. Yeah, I guess that's that. You know, that kind of represents what I feel about this set. It has some cool quirks, but it's nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. This set is pretty rare, and I wouldn't say it's worth looking out for getting, you know. I got it for a very good deal. I found a bunch of Lego City sets from this era for obscenely cheap, and I love investigating this stuff, reviewing it, and then finding the unique pieces and using them. But this set it's just not my favorite, you know? I love this orange piece a lot. This is super cool the way it's used. The play features are all right, even though, you know, they've been seen before or later. And they work okay. There's a few unique pieces. The stickers haven't aged well because it's just a set of that era where the stickers, they all break and it's just sadness. The plane is an okay inclusion, but it rounds out the set, I guess, but like, it's kind of weak. And the tower is probably my favorite part aesthetically, but even then, it's kind of bare bones. I should mention, I do like how this is slanted, and they use a big panel piece here. That kind of is, that's a cool inclusion. Again, the building of this part I think is solid, but the rest of it, I like that it has a unique form factor. It's very different. It definitely has that you know, the stylings before they killed base plates, kind of big volume. That was kind of interesting because that's like the opposite of Lego Town. Lego Town was about being compact and also not being very dense, very simple and charming. And this is a little bit simple, but it's not compact. It's huge, it's voluminous, it's everywhere. And it being such a rare set also makes it interesting. And the Coast Guard line not going too far after this also makes it interesting. But the set itself, it's fine, you know. My favorite part is the minifigure fisherman, I think, and the weird orange pieces, because I love orange. But that's really it. Thank you for watching, and that is all for this Lego City set. Yep. Sorry if this review wasn't the best. I kind of had to stretch my capabilities, and I haven't done one of these in a while. And I just wanted to do it, and even if it didn't work perfectly, here we are. This is it. Here I am. I'll see you guys later.